All right, everybody, welcome to the second episode of Reroll Podcast. Today is Tuesday, right? Yeah. I am Victor Logan, your host, joined here by Miles, Chris, and Michael. All right, guys. So it hasn't been that busy of a week for news, and we recorded kind of late, which sucks. But responsibilities and whatnot.
Yep.
But we're really going to try to get Saturday nights at 9, like we say on the channel, which will be cool to get done soon. Um,
Yeah.
It's just a little hard starting off.
Yeah, we're gonna get back into it though. So, I guess so let me ask Miles. So, Miles, what have you been up to the past week?
So this week, I'm trying to remember what happened. What even happened? Oh, last week was E3, of course. So watched E3 last week, and we talked about that. But this week, mostly, I've just been getting back into Diablo. I've been really enjoying that.
Oh, you don't say.
You guys started playing finally.
Huh?
And so we've been running new characters. I've been wanting to stream that, but here's another issue I've been having is that there's so much stuff to watch on Twitch. It's hard to stream.
Yeah, I think we should start streaming it. Like get some more content out there. Get some more viewers for the podcast. That'd be great.
Just stream stuff in general, but I'm having a hard time because I always want to watch something. It's like right now, Xanadu is going on, which is a tournament for Project M and Melee in Maryland that's streamed on VG Bootcamp, and I really want to watch it, but I'll watch it later. I forgot it was even Tuesday today, so I'll watch that later. SGDQ is going on, which is Summer Games Done Quick.
Which is definitely cool. If you guys are listening, you should check that out after the podcast. Donate some money. Those guys really work hard.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to see them beat your games or play your favorite games and just be way better than you are.
Be infinitely better than you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's just a bunch of speedrunners, and they each have a separate game and different times for it, and they just speed run through the game. And what's really cool is they're just raising money for Doctors Without Borders or Médecins Sans Frontières.
Sparrows.
Oh my God, you and your French.
So that's really enjoyable, and I've been watching that a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Chris, how's your week been?
Pretty similar. So like last week, I've been really focusing on World of Warcraft again. I've been just grinding my dailies every single day, and it's about all I do, and I love it. No, they're the best thing in the whole game. So I've been on that for a while. That takes up, let me tell you, those things take up like 4 to 5 hours a day just getting that done while doing a little bit of LFR. But the much more exciting thing is playing Diablo with you guys, which is an experience in itself.
Yeah, it's the best. Just playing on Torment, and you should not be playing on Torment.
Gosh. So none of us, if you're familiar with the game, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not too familiar with the game either. You're only supposed to play at this difficulty if you've beaten the game once before.
Yes, it's not even unlocked otherwise.
Yeah, you can't
Actually, you can't play it unless you have a max level character. Torment.
Yeah.
Master is if you beat the game. Torment is if you have a max level character.
Torment difficulty, which is the highest difficulty, which in amongst itself also has 7 different tiers of difficulty. So it can get hard, and then it can get way too hard. Well, Victor and I are fairly new to this game, so we're just running in circles, thinking we're all cool, and then we start playing with Michael and Miles, and then we bring it up to this ridiculous difficulty. It's not even. If we just stand, we die.
I remember one time we had trouble killing a dust imp.
Oh my God!
It
Literally, Miles is over there with his character is our same level, but he has this weapon that he somehow brought down through mystical means.
Well, what happened? Okay, so what happened is I was playing my Crusader, just playing around. It's like, I'll just go farm and get some legendary. So I get a legendary two-handed sword that required level 46, but still had 3,000 damage. And so I was just killing everything when I finally could use it.
So he just brings it down. Yeah, and so Miles just destroys any competition. And meanwhile, Victor and I are in the corner fighting a little white mob, nothing special, and he is just handing us our ass. And we're trying our damnedest. Meanwhile, Miles is off killing the boss. In fact, I think this happened yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh, it did.
We were fighting, I think Victor, Michael, and I were fighting some elite, some blue, which is one of the tiers of enemies you can fight. And afterwards, we killed him. Miles is like, "Hey, where are you guys?" And we're like, "Oh, we were just, killing the boss." And he's like, "No, you guys are just killing one of the enemies. I just killed the boss." And it's like, "Oh my god, we didn't even help. We didn't even help kill the main enemy. We were just disillusioned by one of his little friends. It was ridiculous."
Yeah.
When you feel underpowered, you feel underpowered.
Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely a fun game. I'm kind of happy I bought that. It was a good purchase. Getting a lot of time out of it.
It's definitely fun. It's certainly difficult though. But I feel like that's, at least for me, playing on the higher difficulty is half the fun. I may not even play the game because it won't be the same afterwards. I feel like
I think once you get to end game, it is, because like when you can do adventures, which is basically you just go different zones. They come up with random quests, so it's like kill this enemy. Before you kill him, you have to kill 100 or so enemies in the zone. Then you find this boss enemy and kill him. When you do rifts, at the end of a rift, it's a boss. That's random which one you get. You have to kill that. And I thought what was a lot of fun was when we did Belial on like
that was
T3 or
was a
whatever.
lot of fun.
Because then we all had to be like, okay, so we can't just roll through this. Everyone like stopped. Everyone like figured out, okay, I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna use this skill. You need a skill that you can deal damage while moving during the transition phase. And we were all just trying to like min max, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was actually really that was really cool. I think that was my favorite part of when we've been playing so far.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So Mike, just bring it over to you. What have you been doing?
I've been playing just a lot of games because that's my life at this point. Games,
Awesome nuts.
work, and yes, awesome nuts. Let's get to that in a little bit because that's sort of the main feature.
Between me and you, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've been getting back into Dragon Age Origins, so I'm playing through Awakening now. That's a lot of fun. And then I want to after I finish all the DLC, I'm gonna go through Diablo 2 and then eventually Inquisition, and that'll be a lot of fun.
What is the story? Remind me of Awakening again. Is that an expansion or is that?
Yes, it's an expansion. But basically you start out assuming that you played the game and that you finished the main game, the main storyline in Origins, as whatever character. After that, there is this entire area of land, which used to, if you know the story, I do because I just played it, used to belong to Arl Howe, the one bad guy who worked for Loghain. And since you killed him, his lands are all for no one owns it now because you killed the guy because he was evil. So it's all given to the Grey Wardens.
Oh, yes,
awesome.
yes. I remember this.
You're working out of the main keep, and you're sort of recruiting Grey Wardens, and you recruit Grey Wardens like it's nobody's business.
It's supposed to be
someone's like, I want to be a warden, and you're like, you got it. Grey Warden for you.
Just drink this blood.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, do you remember that? That's how they get into the club. It's like, you want
God.
to do you?
Well, the whole point of Grey Warden is you walk the line in between human and I can't remember the enemies.
Darkspawn.
Darkspawn. Thank you.
Darkspawn.
You walk the line in between the two, so the Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn and things like that. So you have to introduce it into your system by drinking.
Yeah.
Which is
and they'll either kill you or you live, and then it kills you. Basically, you have a 30-year lifespan. After drinking it, you only have about 30 years.
Dude, screw being a Grey Warden.
Exactly. I wasn't entirely sure when I was playing Awakening why so many people were like, I want to be a Grey Warden and I want to be a Grey Warden, and I'm like, but you only need 2 in a group maximum
30-year
to be able to detect where the Darkspawn are.
And you're probably sterile.
Oh yeah, that's
for actually, yeah, they do go into that. They're like, yeah, Grey Wardens don't really have children, and actually they go into that during Origins. Like if you have if you're developing a romance with Alistair, and because you're both Grey Wardens, he's like, I'm gonna be the king, and I can't have a prince.
That's kind of rough.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, I remember playing that game pretty well. But in terms of my week's been pretty chill. I finished Legend of Korra actually finally. That was pretty good.
Wait. Is Xbox 360 launch title?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Talking about
No.
Cameo? Cameo is
Cameo,
actually a
no,
pretty
that's
good
the-
game.
that's-
That is a great game. I loved it.
So that's a game where you play as that like weird chick that can transform into like a bear, like
You
a bear.
turn into all these crazy monsters, and the graphics were amazing. It's like actually one of my favorite Xbox games.
Yeah.
It is so and underrated. Oh, I love it.
Isn't that also rare? Is that rare?
I
I
think,
think it might
yeah,
be.
I think so.
I have to
It would
find
make-
the
it would make
box,
sense,
but I think it
actually.
is. Well, let's just look it up.
I
Alright.
will generally go back to that game often, just because once you beat it,
Yeah, rare.
as long as you don't play like the final level, it's kind of like an open world. So you just turn into like all these monsters, just beat all the bad guys. It was awesome.
Oh
Oh,
man.
so good.
Yeah. But anyway, Legend of Korra, the ending was so great. The scale was huge, dude. I didn't think it was gonna be that great.
One
the
of
thing
it's
that-
like I
Good.
said, it's the only show I follow.
Yeah, it was worth rewatching. And I also played Hotline Miami. I heard a lot of buzz about that and like how awful it was. Not awful isn't bad, but like the things you do, it's pretty messed up actually. Because
Yeah.
there's this one point where you knock a guy on the ground or whatever, and it says spacebar to like finish him off. I thought that you just like smack him in the face to finish him. No, you literally beat his head in on a wall or something. It's
Oh,
Yeah, it's insane. It's a lot of fun too, but so the Steam sale's going on too. I've been just buying so many games off of Steam sale. I am repulsive. Like I can't stop buying stuff.
oh God.
It's not good for my wallet. But
I
because of that,
saw
go ahead.
I saw a comic about Steam sales where it was comparing it to Pokemon, basically saying each game isn't equally important to me, but it's more about the collection than the actual than the
Okay,
actual thing.
Speaking of that, Jeff, our friend from our high school.
High school?
Yeah. So I know we play Dota 2 and stuff on Steam a lot, and like I've been over his house for Dungeons and Dragons and different stuff like that, and he showed me his Steam collection. Guess how many? Oh, I don't know the exact number. Well, I can find it real fast, but he has ridiculous amount of games.
Is he
and every
what that
sale.
Fluba guy on your friends list?
Every sale, he's up there getting more games.
Yeah.
How many does he have? I mean,
I do not.
can you ballpark?
No, I can look it up. Okay,
He has the achievement 500 plus. If that
he
gives
has
you any.
778 games.
Oh my god.
Oh,
He has everything.
but like, I'm all about the collection too, but I cannot understand collecting on like a digital
front?
scale. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not like you own it. It just gives you, I don't know, the option, I guess. I don't know.
I know what you mean. Like you like to see
Yeah.
your collection in front of you.
Yeah,
which is
I mean,
fine.
I collect records and I collect video games too, but only in physical form. I hardly even buy anything up on my computer just because I
Yeah.
want to hold it.
There's a difference between having like a song in your on your phone and then like the whole
Exactly.
album.
And then
Yeah,
having
so-
it CD
and
exactly.
all the artwork that comes in it. But speaking of Steam sales, Michael and I got Awesome Nuts last night. That game is ridiculous. So for those who don't know, it's kind of like a 2D MOBA. It mixes MOBA with platforming, and it's pretty cool. It's interesting how it works, you know.
Yeah,
And,
instead of using like there's still lanes, but it's all
It's all-
vertical. Everything's vertical. You know.
Yeah.
Huh.
So last night we got it around like I want to say 8 o'clock, and from that time today, I got 8 hours in of game, more than 8 hours, maybe 9, 10 right now. So I like that's played in within the past 2 days. But I guess
Huh. Well, I mean, have you guys played other MOBAs? I mean, can you compare? Because I know you guys have played some, but you're not. I just remember you guys trying out, I think, Dota and League the same night and just being overwhelmed.
I tried Dota and quit in like 5 seconds. I was like, oh my god, what's going on?
A true gamer.
Yeah, they've played some, but they haven't played 1,145 hours.
Oh my god, that's.
Miles.
It's so much fun.
Very
Play
good.
it all the
I logged
time.
into Dota
It's fun.
today because I was like going to try to learn it, and I was like, hey, we noticed you didn't buy a compendium. By the way, Miles, could you explain what a compendium is?
Okay, so the way the compendium works is each year Valve has the International, which that was the first time Dota 2 was shown 4 years ago or however
That's
long.
interesting.
And
Yeah.
like when they first showed it, it came out and they said, okay, International Dota 2 Championship, $1.6 million prize pool. a lot of people thought this is fake. There's no way this is real. How can this be a real thing for a game that we've known about, but we're just going to see for the first time? So even pro players are like, this has to be fake. This can't be real.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it comes around. It's a real thing, and was like really cool. And then like that was TI1. TI2 rolls around, same thing, but they move it to Seattle because the first one was at Gamescom in Germany. But having it in Seattle near the Valve offices, they can like make it more special. Then TI3, they came up with the idea of the compendium. And the idea around that is you can buy the compendium in the game for $10. And $2.50 of every compendium purchase goes towards the prize pool. And there's like stretch goals and different things that you could hit. And like last year, it hit like 2.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so
that means about 1 million people bought it.
Yeah, but I don't get it. Why do you buy a compendium? Like, how does that benefit you?
Okay, so there's things that happen. So like when you buy it, I don't have everything right in front of me. I can probably get it.
Nah, that's fine. Just keep it
I'm
general.
just gonna I keep going over stuff. I'm gonna try and find it. But like when you buy the compendium, you get a battle point booster, which in the game every time you level, that guarantees you an item. So like you can purchase items in Dota 2, or every time you level, you get a random item for free.
Okay.
Okay, I found it. Yeah, last year was $2.87 million.
Jeez.
That's a pretty penny.
And there were
it's about
goals.
1 million people who bought that freaking thing.
And the thing is, first place takes half of the prize pool.
Oh, God.
So
You have to-
Alliance took 1.4, and then the other half gets distributed through top 8.
Oh, wow. That's actually pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I couldn't imagine that. Like, being that good at a game just to get paid to play
That
it.
good that you become a millionaire?
And then-
millionaire just by playing freaking Dota?
And then this year they changed it. So like now the compendium has even more stuff. Like they have all the stretch goals, and it's really impressive the amount of stuff, like the amount of stretch goals you have. Like it's funny because one thing that's already technically that's something I've been playing with Corey a lot is like all random deathmatch. So when you play, you get a random hero. Every time you die, you get another random hero. And each team has like 40 lives, and you keep going until you take in their throne, which is a normal game win, or you exhaust the enemy's lives. So you're trying to build items that work on every hero because you don't know what
That's
you're
kind of
getting.
cool.
Yeah. Speaking of trying to build, they are trying to build up Powerpuff Girls. Let's go. Bring this back out on the Cartoon Network. So, here's the news. They are bringing back Powerpuff Girls back to Cartoon Network, which is pretty awesome because if you think about it, that means they might be able to bring other old games back. You know what I mean? So you might be able to get like, Dexter's Laboratory or Samurai Jack, and I think it's pretty cool how they're bringing it back.
Yeah, that's actually, I don't know if you're familiar, but I believe it's Cartoon Network where I think it's around like 3 a.m. or something. They start showing all of their old shows.
It's probably Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it's just Nickelodeon. I don't think that makes so much sense. But Cartoon Network, they have like Adult
They have
Swim
Nick at
go.
Night, which is just George Lopez all day or all night. George
So
Lopez and Family Matters.
Hey, don't be knocking the Urkel now.
It's great, but at 3
Can I
a.m.
do
when I'm
that?
half asleep on my couch,
That's great
I'm just
time to
like-
learn a
I'm
nice
just like,
family
what is
lesson.
Urkel talking about?
Oh
I
my
can't tell.
Family left. Family.
I don't know.
Oh my god!
You guys want to change to the Family Matters podcast where we just talk about all things Family Matters all the
Oh
time?
my god! I can't stand any of those old corny shows. I tried to watch. What was it? It has the really good intro. It takes place in San Francisco. Oh come on! It's
That
the
70s
family.
show?
Yeah.
No. It's the family where there's no mother, and it's a
Anna?
dad.
It's a Full House.
Full House. That show is the.
Is that the one where it's
craziest-
like everywhere you look, something
Yeah,
pops
everywhere
up?
you know, there's a heart. Yeah. Oh my god, that thing! I cringe every time an episode ends.
But you
Because
need
they're
to
just
hold
like,
on to it, Chris.
now let's go. Now, what lesson do we learn today? And I'm always like, God damn it!
It's like watching
It's
the previous.
it's
I'd
so
rather just watch
bad.
our.
So 90s.
Oh, have you guys watched old? We're talking like 80s, animated cartoons like He-Man, or even like the Ninja Turtles, or like Ghostbusters when that was their
No.
heyday.
No, because
Those-
no one watches the original Ninja Turtles. The new series are so
Oh,
good.
Sorry.
We'll get to this topic
This
later.
guy.
To
But,
those
like-
of you listening, we've had this conversation before.
And
Yeah,
it's in the document, so it's coming up again.
It is? Oh, wait, it is. Oh, Jesus Christ.
old- So, God, you got me off track. Oh, I watched the. Oh, this is actually an awesome story.
This has to be
When
education.
I was in like elementary school, I bought the Castle Grayskull like playset,
Mhm.
and it came with a VHS of one of the original He-Man like episodes. That
Oh my
thing
gosh.
was so bad. The lesson wasn't even hidden. Like they just beat who's the bad guy here? Skeletor.
Skeletor?
They-
Oh, wait, I should not have known that. Oh,
They,
God.
they just beat Skeletor in like something, and afterwards they're like, "Now what lesson do we learn today?" And the lesson was friendship. I remember it completely. It was just so bad. I was like, "How do people watch this?" Oh, it was
Because there was nothing else at the time. You have to remember, there
Yeah.
was nothing else. That was your
Because-
option.
because that was the pinnacle of animated TV.
The cool part about that is, like, in the new Ninja Turtle series, it always like, starts up with, like, Splinter teaching them something new, like a new type of lesson. And you know that's going to be incorporated to the rest of the episode some way. Which
How
I think
much-
is cool. It's
Well,
hidden,
not always. Normally, normally
most of
it's
the
just
majority of the time.
yeah, but normally it's not even at the start. It's just like somewhere during the episode, it's like, Master, I don't understand, and he'll tell them something.
Oh
and
yeah,
they'll,
no,
like,
Splinter's always there to help him out. No
I
matter
also
what.
really like that Splinter like actually speaks Japanese. And like I was watching it in college with my friends that take Japanese, and like he was like just translating what Splinter was saying. And it's like that's really cool.
What in the new one?
Yes, he like at times like when he gets a command or when he gets serious, he'll speak in Japanese.
Oh, God.
That's kind of funny.
Alright, I guess now it's time to get serious and talk about EA. Jesus Christ. So EA wants to make their whole gaming infrastructure better, mainly because of Battlefield 3 and how like the game didn't come out well. So their PR guys came out with a list of things that they want to work on, and we're hoping that they actually work on them. So the first thing on the list is make sure the games play well sooner.
What?
Because Battlefield, I'm sorry, I said 3, I meant 4. Because Battlefield 4,
I like it how sooner. Like they're like they're like
yeah, like
they're like
Battlefield 4 is going to play well sooner or later.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, I know. And test their games more thoroughly because EA games are known for having bugs and things
Or-
like that.
or just having better dedicated servers.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
That actually
But that
connect
but
people
that Battlefield
dedicated.
4 launch,
Was so good.
it was terrible, terrible.
I just want to say something in this topic, just in that general thought, because like a lot of people have issues when the game launches and it's like, oh, what is up with all these bugs? Especially like multiplayer games. Like you have no idea. Like you can put a beta, you can give people free consoles for playing your game, and you will not get the number of people that are gonna play your game day one and hammer your servers.
But
I'm not
still, I know, but it's still no excuse. You know what I mean? Like
My
in 2014, you should be able to make, especially
No,
after they make
'cause,
Battlefield 3,
My
Battlefield
way-
2, Bad Company 1, Bad Company 2. They should know how to make infrastructures. There's no excuse for that game coming out and not being finished because the
Like-
team has been making games for so long. You know what I mean? There's no
Yeah.
excuse.
I don't know if you guys know. Like, here's the retort to what Miles said. Mario Kart 8. Okay, it may be a different kind of game, but that game had online play at launch, and servers. There was nothing wrong whatsoever.
But here's
The-
here's a counterpart to that. All right, so Mario Kart 8 came out only on Wii U. Honestly, there's not that many Wii U's out there right now. There's a good amount. Wii U's building up steam.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 sold a lot, but it's not compared to Xbox 360, PS3, PC.
I can definitely see that. Yeah. I can
Getting
definitely see
hit
that.
by
But
all of those.
definitely.
Yeah, I
But
see your point.
with that being said, even with that, there wasn't one issue. You know, it's just while you're. I mean, definitely, there's like quintuple as many people with those games, but even still, it's tough.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to get that shit right,
mean,
especially with a game that just
That
focuses. Like,
relies on multiplayer.
like,
That's
yeah,
the
like
game.
it's not like the campaign is pretty much like tertiary now, if there
Yeah.
even is one anymore. I don't even know, but a game that relies solely on that base.
How long did it take them to fix the issues again? Or
I'm
did-
pretty
did-
sure some of them
issues
still
again?
are fixed.
Yeah, they're not fixed. I think
What the hell?
360 are fine. Xbox One's fine. I think PS4 is the one that has the main problems. I'm not too sure though because I
What a
haven't really been.
slap in the face.
Or
Yeah.
Sony.
That's
man.
brutal.
See, like, and I agree with you guys. Like, I feel bad when the game comes out and has issues, but like, I'm starting to understand more the more MMOs that come out day one, and I try them out. I'm like, oh, this is broken, and this is
I-
broken. It's like,
I
you
understand
can't trust all of
MMOs I
this.
can understand.
I understand
because
MMOs.
MMOs are massive.
Yeah,
They're
it's
massive.
in the name,
games with just-
you know.
But even
They're all
shooters
mass
to the
produced different
extent,
stuff.
even shooters. I mean, I can't say this like everything is like this. Battlefield 4 is definitely a really terrible launch. But I just mean in general, like multiplayer games. When you're like Destiny, I'm guarantee you when Destiny launches is going to have issues. Maybe not game breaking ones,
I
but
think
it's going to
that's
have
correct.
serious
Every
issues.
online game has issues on launch.
Of
Just
course.
it's just trying to minimize it. It's trying not to have the Diablo 3 effect
Oh,
up
jeez.
on launch.
Error
It's trying to actually
37, wasn't it?
Oh God.
Error 37, man.
What was
Best
this?
game.
So when Diablo 3 launched, people Blizzard had it up, people were testing it not that often, but when it launched, like everyone tried to get in it as fast as possible. So what happened is all the servers were hammered, error 37, because the servers were like full or down. Some people
Also,
got in,
a ton of people
some people
bought the
couldn't.
game. A ton of people bought the game because this was before your guys' time. Because it was what was the name of it? It was the year-long deal. Miles, remember that?
Was it the annual? It was annuals.
The annual pass.
Annual pass.
The
yeah.
annual pass, and they set that up that if you buy a year subscription to World of Warcraft, you get Diablo 3 for free. So, and because
That's
they
what
have
I did.
billions of people.
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Miles
Chris
made
has the
Miles made
special
me buy
target. I
that.
told him it's like you're gonna play this game eventually. You play WoW and you're still paying for WoW. Get it?
What if I
Yeah.
told you? I don't know if you remember this. I think Miles, you said the same thing to me, and I was like, "What? You're an idiot. I'm never gonna play Diablo 3."
Mhm.
Little did I
right.
know.
Yeah, that's back when
Hours.
you're like, oh, Torchlight's perfectly fine. I don't know if I
Oh,
like
yeah.
Diablo.
I was like, Torchlight's better than Diablo.
Although I will say, at launch and up until the most recent, more recent patches, Torchlight I would have preferred, just because it was a bit more fun.
Mhm.
You know.
So next thing EA's trying to do is trying to be more willing to delay games, and it seemed to take a page out of Ubisoft books or Ubisoft. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. One of those two.
Either's fine.
Ubisoft.
Yubi.
Yeah, I think one's actually right, one's incorrect because I heard from other people. But anyway, so Ubisoft has been known for pushing their games back, but
Okay.
normally when their games come out, they're pretty well made. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
EA's trying to say, oh, look what Ubisoft is doing. Let's delay games. Because Titanfall got delayed, and that was fine. Titanfall 360 came out and it worked pretty well. So
Yeah, doesn't Nintendo share that same philosophy?
No,
Don't
Nintendo
release it
just
until it's
won't
ready.
tell you they won't tell you a date until 2 months out.
yeah,
Hey.
That's Nintendo's way. It's
we
like,
didn't know Mario
oh,
Kart's date till like 2 months ago. I don't think.
Actually,
Yeah.
actually, Blizzard is like a mixture of the two. Blizzard is like, we're not going to tell you anything, and we're going to keep pushing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want to tell us about games sooner, which I'm not sure I don't like that because I hate waiting for games. I hate knowing that games are coming out. It
Yeah.
sucks when you gotta wait. Especially just past E3, we saw so many good games, but most of them were 2015.
I don't know. I'd rather hear something than them be like, oh, like their E3, like their conference really. It's like, here's the stuff that's in development, but we don't even have a title. And we're not actually talking about the game. We're just talking about the studio that's making that game.
I'd rather have them be like,
I don't like that kind of stuff.
I'd rather have them be like, hey guys, we got a game. When's it coming out? Tomorrow! I want that. That'd be great,
Tomorrow.
That's so rare though. But I don't know. I prefer if a company's like, by the way, we have this on the line and we have this on the line, but this is coming out now, so you can play this now and while waiting for these.
Didn't the Saturn do that and flop? I think the Saturn was like...
What console was it?
It was
Because
the Saturn...
this is reminiscent of when someone released. Someone had a console on the line.
no,
it may have been the Saturn.
It was the Saturn. It was E3.
Yeah, and they're
one of
like,
the early
and it's
E3.
coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, they
And
did that.
It was like, what? And the console tanked because of it. Because
Yeah, a console is kind of stupid.
Yeah,
not
dude.
a single stores weren't ready. No one was prepped. There was no promotion for this. There was really no hype. No one knew about it, and it just tanked. I mean, how brutal is that?
Oh my god. So
Crazy story.
it's funny how EA says they want to make games better, and then they bring out Hardline, which I'm starting to hear it's an expansion. Mike, you actually played it. What do you think?
Michael's the one that's got the
Which
best
one?
view.
Hardline. Battlefield Hardline.
I mean, I'll be honest. It plays just like it literally is an expansion to Battlefield. Like it's not cops and robbers. It's military versus military with ski masks. Literally,
Yeah.
like
I
if you look at the cops, they don't look like cops. They look like military.
yeah, that's what I heard.
And when everyone's running around with with AKs and rocket launchers and LMGs and stuff like that, and it's like this isn't a heist game. Payday's a heist game where you go in and you sort of be stealthy about it, and you try and keep casualties to a low because you're not there to kill people. You're there to get in and get out.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But
Yeah,
it's a shooter.
Yeah.
They build it to be a shooter.
My favorite part about this is that people recognize that too. People, because it's been a huge thing on the internet. There's a lot of hate towards it, and it's kind of nice to finally, to see people be like, screw this thing, like I'm not gonna pay $60 for some rehashed expansion of a game I already own.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like. Hopefully, I mean, it's always tough. EA's learned some lessons in the past. SimCity was a huge issue. Hopefully, this will be an equal issue. Just something to try to teach them a lesson.
EA said that this won't be Battlefield won't become annualized. This is like a 1-year thing, but I'm starting to think that they might become annualized because you could think, imagine the investors. They're like, yo, the Call of Duty thing, that's making money. You guys have the same game, right? You bring it out every year. And
except that Call of Duty has 3 companies.
It has 3 teams. Well, Heartland's
and so each one actually has 3 years of development.
Yeah, are Call of Duties even games still? Is that still a series, or did that die yet?
You didn't see Advanced Warfare, which
actually,
parts of that looked good, and then I don't know.
I might actually end up getting
I read it. I think I was so unfazed.
Activision's not gonna let that die.
Oh yeah, there's no way. They make way too much money.
Oh.
But
Stupid
hopefully they don't analyze Battlefield. Battlefield takes time to get better. Like the jump from Battlefield back up to 2 to 3 was great. The 3 to 4, you could kind of see it wasn't that big of a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
Yeah. So apparently in the next Superman movie, Superman vs. Batman, whatever it's called, Batman vs. Superman, Lex Luthor may not be bald, which is
huge news.
Yeah, which is kind of huge because people are starting to get annoyed by the way
if the Superman universe is your thing, that's pretty big.
Yeah, people are starting to get annoyed by the fact that comic book movies are not paying attention to the actual lore or the actual backstory, I guess you say, in comic books. You know what I mean? And who's the actor that's playing him? The dude from what was it, 30 Minutes or Less? I can't remember his name right now.
I saw this, but I can't remember.
Yeah. It's kind of weird having him be Lex Luthor because he's this skinny kid. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it's interesting to see how that's going to turn out.
Well, to be fair, Lex is really just a smart guy.
That is true.
He's just a guy with money and brains.
And
He's kind of like Batman.
That is true, actually. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. I mean,
which is why I'm almost certain that in the Superman Batman movie, Batman's gonna kick Superman's ass because Lex Luthor has done it so many times in the past.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna.
By the way, Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh,
Jesse Eisenberg. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now that I look at this guy's face, okay.
Mhm. How are you supposed to be scary? How are you gonna be the cool villain?
I don't know. I don't know how he would look bald because he's not bald.
Yeah.
Maybe he just has a really freaky looking I don't know.
I heard they
I don't think Lex Luthor has to be bald though. I think you could play the character and just have the effect, and it doesn't have to be bald to just be Lex Luthor.
It's pretty iconic for him. It'd be making the Green Lantern black. You just can't do these things.
He is.
I know. Of course.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he is.
No. But with that, I still feel like this is something. I don't know. Him bald has been a token. I feel why? Just leave it.
Because it's a retelling. It's a different story. It's a similar setting, but different story.
Because they have to be different, evidently. I don't know. Whatever.
Like Bane.
Oh my! Don't even get me started.
Even the way Joker was in terms of appearance and things.
Bane, I love Bane's character. I loved all of the villains in the Batman series. My issue with Bane's character is Bane has a very token power. And that is, he's like injected with venom and he becomes huge. They played on it a little bit. They had like the mask thing. But for me, that wasn't nearly enough. Somehow they got Scarecrow's power in there. You know, why can't Bane just like, why couldn't he have used like steroids or something? Or something
Yeah,
like
I wish they would
a little bit different just to like, you know, be reminiscent of this is his actual power. He's not, and like, they changed Bane so much it hurts.
That's the problem with a lot of superhero movies. You gotta go and understand, like, this is the director's retelling of the story, what characters he wants to use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, I'm all for it too. I feel like they did a great job with his character. I loved how he was huge. I mean, Bane's a big guy, so they made him taller than everyone else. He was jacked. He wore that big coat. I loved how they messed up his voice. All I wanted was like his actual power to be there.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That would be like make Batman poor, but he can still fight.
Mhm.
You know, like half of Batman's power is that he's rich.
Which is kind of funny because he's kind of similar to Iron Man. Just Iron Man's more like happy about it,
They're like the same guy.
and Batman
They're just they prove that the best superpower is money.
Yeah. So Kojima, he's upset again about GTA 5. So this has been happening quite often, where he tweets, he's like, "Oh my God, GTA 5 is looking so good. How can my game look this great? It can't."
Really?
Yeah, apparently he's getting upset by it. But like you said earlier that they're comparing apples and oranges. You know, like they're two different things.
So I think this is just a trend in the Japanese market, since consoles and all that aren't really hot in Japan right now. It's mostly like mobile devices. So I think it's just really a trend because like they see these titles that are just demolishing in the West and even probably doing decently in Japan itself, and like how can I do that? Like we saw this Resident Evil, they're trying to get the Call of Duty crowd, and that affects their own audience. And like Square Enix was doing this for a while until Bravely Default came out and sold ridiculously well. So they're like, okay, we understand you guys just want traditional RPG, so we will do that from now on.
Yeah, like make the stuff that made you great. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes me mad about Square Enix. You know,
well, they should be going back now. They said like after Bravely Default and how well it did, they're going to be looking into doing some more traditional things. But so I think that's what Kojima's doing, because like Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain is an open world Metal Gear game. And so, what's the big open world elephant in the room? Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's why you compare.
Yeah, I mean, it is the biggest one that has come out recently.
Like, if you know Kojima and his personality, which I don't know personally, but he likes to like see weird stuff happen, and like you can do crazy stuff. With GTA 5, if you name something you could do in real life, more than likely you can do it in GTA 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably why he's upset. Because in GTA 5, you can go take a bike and go on a marathon with random people. You can sit in your room and smoke pot if you want. You can go parachute out of anything. You know what I mean? That's why. That's probably why he's like, oh, I want that in my game. But his game's pretty cool too. You can like fault in anything, which if you guys don't know, it's kind of like in Batman 2. There's a part where he kind of hooks this weather balloon onto like the Asian dude. If you guys remember that.
Yeah.
That's like the faulting system that he uses in Metal Gear. So you can hook people with that balloon, and it flies them off to your base. And I don't know, it's pretty cool because you can hook like sheep and everything, and sheep will just chill in your base and hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all right. You can fill your whole base with sheep if you want.
Amazing. That kind of mechanic to me is reminiscent of similar to Just Cause, where you can just hook stuff.
Oh yeah, don't say anything. Okay. So there's been a problem in the community about being able to play a female character in video games, namely Assassin's Creed Unity, where you can play as a bunch of different people, but you can't make a female character. And Ubisoft's been getting a lot of crap about this, but I'm not sure about this, Miles. You probably could clarify if I'm wrong. But don't you play as 4 copies of the same guy, just with your different equipment?
Yeah, so basically, whoever's when you're playing, you see the main character, and then you see everyone else as these other random characters. But I'm sure they had names, so they're named assassins in probably the world, and probably people you might interact with in the game. But each person sees themselves as the main character.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're supposed to be the main. Okay, all right, that's cool. So like, people shouldn't be complaining once they realize how the game's made. And a lot of people were saying, a lot of developers, I think one guy who worked at Naughty Dog, was saying that it's easy to make a female model. Easy to throw them in, but that's not what you play as. You play as the main character, and the main character is a dude.
No,
But
also games are stories, okay? Like when you're telling a game, you're telling a story.
Mhm.
And there's you have this predetermined idea to go behind this interactive story as well. So to just force this other entity into it, it ruins the story. You can't.
Yeah. Mhm.
Or you
I
at
also
least
have
have
to
to
say,
change the story for something that's in the long run fairly needless. Like you don't, you know, like
It,
like the necessity behind. The one thing is, I'm very doubtful that in Assassin's Creed Unity you can actually choose anything besides your weapons. It sounds like that the only things that you can actually change about your character is your weapons and possibly the color of your coat. That's it. You're not gonna look different. You're
The
you're
important
not.
things.
It's not like you have a list of dudes that you can choose from. You have a dude, like four colored coats
yeah.
and a couple of weapons, and that's it. It's not like and the Assassin's Creed games have never been about create your character and make them look
Mhm.
cool. No, it's a linear game.
Yeah. Did you
You know,
guys
it's a-
happen to see the ending of Last of Us? I'm not going to spoil it, but
No, I haven't.
if you've seen the ending, a lot of people were upset about it, about how it ends or whatever. But Naughty Dog came out and said they were like, "We made this game, but this is our story. It's not your story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're taking you
All
along
right.
for a ride. It's
Wait.
not
Put
your
a
story."
put a spoiler tag, because I want to hear that. What
No,
what did
no,
they
no,
do?
no, no,
I'll be vague.
No,
I'll be really vague.
no.
I'll be really vague, Mouse. There's no way you're gonna be able to tell. So in the end, your character makes a decision to save a certain person instead of saving a certain other, sect of people, and because of that, people are upset that he chose the wrong decision. He made the wrong decision, something like that. You know what I mean?
So what did he
And-
save a guy instead
and-
of a girl?
No, I don't want to go too heavy.
Yeah,
And like
let's
the
not
last,
get too.
I think I already know what it is.
and
now.
the last line of that last line of dialogue, the girl you go through along says, so is everything okay? What happened? And the main character goes, it's like, it was all right. And she was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And that's how it ends. Like a small little conversation like that. You know what I mean? That's what
Huh.
people were upset because the ending, I thought it was pretty good. It seemed like how a movie would end. But people were upset that we wanted to be the hero guy. Joel's not a hero. He says it multiple times throughout the story. He's not a hero. You know what I mean?
See, with I'm about to say Watch Dogs for some reason, but with Last of Us, I can understand that. But then you flip the switch to Mass Effect, where
Yeah,
Mass Effect 3 ending was. I mean, I love that series so much. I look forward to it all the time. Remember, Chris was here and we were playing Mass Effect 1 before 2 came out. The one time he came over, Chris.
Oh, it's great game.
But we were playing that, and I loved Mass Effect 2 and how all your choices up to the end mattered, and you had to make the decision of who goes where. Otherwise, teammates die. Even your main character could die. The Mass Effect 3 is 3 colors. Pick one. Hey, they didn't matter. And
I know.
You can choose
yeah.
this one if you're good, and you can choose this one if you're not.
And not even that. They're all just vague. There's no really good and evil. It's it's so weird.
How would you guys
It was dumb. It was a bad ending. I couldn't. It's terrible because the whole game, just to me, the game played like a Mass Effect game as well. There were so many choices, and this game you had these armies too, and people were dying left and right, and it was crazy. So to see so many choices, and then to play a game where your choices mattered, and then suddenly to have them literally matter for nothing,
Yeah.
and based upon 3 just ambiguous, like Miles says, you don't even know what they're really doing, and you don't know what's going on, and the end, it just sort of ends. And then for that to be the ending of such a great trilogy is so brutal. I mean, it is just it's so rough because it could have been so much better.
Let me pitch this idea to you. Tell me if you like it. So, picture Mass Effect, right? And you know how you have the Paragon and Renegade system. What if they had that, but they didn't tell you what you were, and the choices weren't blue and red? You just make the choices.
I
and
would have
you
liked
do-
that. That
you
is
do
a
not
cool
know-
idea.
That's not too bad.
You do not
Because-
know which one you are.
Because
and-
I generally pick choice because I know I always want to play as a Paragon. I always want to play as the good guy, and so I will That's such a good idea because I
And
will generally just pick the good answer no matter what it is.
And imagine if like the answer you can only choose when you're like really really renegade just isn't there instead of blatantly in your face like black and white. Here's what I could have done here.
Yeah.
That would seem really cool. That
Yeah.
seems like you're really
Yeah.
playing that character.
Also, if you're gonna do that, you can't telegraph your, your punches. You can't, you can't be like, do you want to commit genocide or save everyone? Like because it's like at that point it's like, well, do I want to be good or evil?
Yeah.
I don't care if one is not blue or red. I know which one is what.
Yeah, that's the problem with Mass Effect because it's always in your face like what you are, and I thought it would be pretty cool.
Interesting idea, yeah.
I think that's like, most of BioWare's games are like that because like I remember when the Old Republic came out, like people were upset because like the game itself made you pick a side because there were like bonuses you got for being good or evil, and they had to add in a neutral one because people were complaining because like there's no option for that.
Yeah, like could you imagine it's like the only way you could tell in Mass Effect if your character was good or evil just by how he looked? Kind of like how if you walked into someone's Fable game, like especially the first one, you could tell if they're good or evil. That's
yeah.
But even then, even in Fable, it's very like I think
it's very black and white.
In terms of games, like every game with a choice is very obvious. Like Infamous.
I'm thinking again to
Fable 3.
Fable's almost worse.
I have an example that's pretty good. What was it, Michael? You can either destroy this. Was it orphanage, Michael?
No, it was a brothel. No, it was an orphanage. It was an orphanage, and you can either repair the orphanage or turn it into a brothel.
Like what?
Can I just say, since I want to put it out there for those who don't know, I play evil in games. I made that into a brothel so quick. Just like brothel.
Good character.
I remember.
I think it was especially dastardly because I had a kid in the orphanage at the time.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
My morality was
put that kid straight into prostitution.
Oh no! They just go to live on the street corner. They literally move out, and the orphanage is just a lady with kids out on the street. That's what it is. Because I went later to go and pick up my kid, and I forget what happened after that. I don't know. I didn't really care that much.
The thing is with Fable though, with that kind of choice system, it created such a funny environment. Because Fable was about humor too. So asking you to make that sort of ridiculous choice is like part of the game. Because it's like, well, I guess if I'm gonna be evil, I'm gonna do it all the way.
Also, can I just say, Fable 3, I was straight up evil. I was like, I held up no bargains. I helped to no one. I spent no money. I took everyone's money. I raised all the taxes. However, in Old Town, I refurbished Old Town. I bought all the buildings and I lowered the taxes on just those buildings. Everyone else was the highest, and everyone there loved me. Like, I walked in and I am their hero. And I'm like, they do not care who I am killing outside of these walls. Old Town loves me, so that's why I put everything.
That freaking... I forgot you could change taxes. That was really cool. I forgot all about that. That was, that game had so many good things going for it, and then it just dropped the ball at the end.
Yes, sir.
Back to morality.
Pierre Noralo is the man.
Oh, he's great hype man, but then delivering is an issue.
Yeah, he should just be a PR guy, really.
He should be the one that speaks.
I think he is at this point.
Yeah.
He's made what is that game? Goddess. So it's like his old god games, but it's really weird because like when you play it, you don't just generate the faith that you're getting from all that buildings and stuff, and where you're putting people. You have to go and click it like an old like a tablet game is what it's going to be. But you're playing on PC, and that's really annoying.
Oh my god,
that's so interesting.
You know what else is really annoying? When you buy a game for the friggin' Xbox One particularly, and you have a PC thinking this game won't be on a PC, and then it's coming to PC. That game's Dead Rising 3. So Dead Rising 3 was an exclusive for the Xbox One, and now it's coming to the PC, which I guess that's cool. But I feel like some people could feel like betrayed and lied to because they've been doing this for a while.
Capcom has done that in the past before, haven't they? They've like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like not with exclusives though. I don't think it was exclusive really.
I think because Dead Rising, I mean, it's been probably a year. I think
Yeah,
maybe
but
not, but like that's a decent time for you. If you had an Xbox or were considering it, then this was a good purchase for you. But if you don't have one, or you're not thinking about it, and now Capcom's like, it's not winning. We need to make money back on Dead Rising because I don't know the numbers, but I don't think it's sold extremely well.
well, here's my thing. I think it did pretty well because it was one of the few games on the console. Launch games usually do pretty well. But my cynicism in me is thinking that like they delayed the PC on purpose just because Xbox One needs that exclusive. You know what I mean? Just how
I think Microsoft paid them to make sure not to delay it,
Oh.
but to make sure it comes on Xbox first.
yeah, which is essentially doing the same thing.
And the thing is that's common. That's common to get things out first and to even have exclusives and stuff like that. And
Definitely.
I probably said that wrong, but what I meant is like to have it come to Xbox, then later Capcom's like, well, we'll just do a PC port as well, since Microsoft's not against the PC. They make the top-selling PC operating system, so they're fine with it.
Because games are made on the computer. You know, that's what bugs me. One thing like GTA 5, I think could have came out on PC sooner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They definitely waited on purpose because they wanted to go out with the Xbox One and PS4. They could have had it on PC sooner.
I mean that also had launch issues as well. Like the economy was absolutely broken. I know that was broken for.
Yeah, because I had the game as soon as the online launched. I couldn't play online for like a month. It was ridiculous.
That goes back to what I said, especially Rockstar, because Rockstar's never made like a multiplayer game.
Yeah, really, they just started doing that, you know.
I guess they haven't. Oh no, well the multiplayer before that was
they had in like Red Dead Redemption, but not to the size of GTA Online.
Yeah, because GTA 4 was structured more like a Call of Duty. Red Dead Redemption was smaller, and GTA 5 was so big as well. It was way bigger than Red Dead, and Red Dead was pretty big as well. But
Red Dead was awesome.
Yeah, GTA 5. There's so many people online. I just pictured the program. I was like, what? They want to play online? You didn't tell me. And like, it just didn't work.
And then, like, to go with what you were saying of things going to PC and delaying it and stuff like that, I know we had this discussion before, but I just think, like, certain things are meant for consoles. I understand that there's PC versions, and it's like, oh, I could easily port this to the PC, but, like, Destiny, like, Halo now, like, they're console games, and it's a reason for you to buy the consoles, because if everything was on PC and console, then why own a console? I could just get a PC.
Well, that's a question being asked now. I mean, that's a big question, though. That's the whole idea of why own a console. And the only reason now is becoming... because I'm a big Halo fan, and I think a Halo port to PC is needed. I mean, I don't know if that was it, but I think better examples will always be Nintendo titles, where those are ones that... Yeah. I'm not playing Super Mario Galaxy on my computer. All right, like that's just not happening, and it would feel wrong. Like that is not the kind of game. Like even well, I don't know too much about the other game you brought up, Destiny, but I feel like a lot of games on the PS4 and the Xbox can easily be brought to the PC.
What if I told you?
I'm trying to think of ones that wouldn't. Wait, what are you saying?
What if I told you that? When the developers were asked if Destiny is coming to PC, they said we can't comment on that now, which means it's probably going to come out on PC.
Yeah.
What if I told you that?
I'm just
isn't that ridiculous?
I'm just saying that means a couple things. One, that means, well, first off, Sony is obviously giving Bungie some money.
They're definitely lobbying.
They're only showing at the Sony part, only talking about Sony. Who's the stuff coming to PlayStation? So like, I honestly don't see Destiny coming to PC. Maybe it does. I honestly think it's because like Destiny and The Division are like these consoles, and like original Xbox One was going to be always online, and there's a whole infrastructure they have set up for multiplayer games, and like Destiny and Division are going to be the first two games to really take advantage of that in terms of like an MMO aspect where it's a constantly evolving world that can always be running.
Yeah.
And so I think I don't know. If it comes to PC, great, but I'm already going to have it, and
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it as well. I think it's probably gonna come to PC, but we really don't know because Rockstar. We had people that asked them if they were coming, if it was coming to PC a while ago. They're like, no. They're like, is it coming to PS4 next year? They're like, no. You know what I mean? Rockstar would just straight up lie. Rockstar doesn't care. Certain people just don't care, you know, because they're gonna.
So long as you don't tell your PR what the truth is.
Yeah, seriously.
They're not technically lying.
And I don't know if it's really lying if they haven't even like announced it yet. Personally, because like this is what I mean. It's like you make the game for a console. Maybe with GTA they had the plan, because GTA is a huge game.
GTA
so they could have planned it ahead. But it's like the thought of we made it for these consoles. If we say, oh no, it's not coming out, they won't sell, and it was crushing records.
Everyone,
so, like,
everyone
you want them
knew
to like sell as much as it can, and then you do the HD remake and put it on PC and new consoles. And people like me that didn't feel like buying it on an old console, now I'll just get on the Xbox One and I'll play GTA 5 for the first time.
Then you do the whole collector's edition that comes with all of the like DLC as well.
Part of the Steam summer sale, get everything for cheap.
Well, and then it goes to Steam.
That's the thing. Like everyone really pretty much knew GTA 5 was coming to PC for the fact that the last like 4 or 5 Rockstar games have also come to PC. Of course,
it was had to.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it on PC. It'll be cool to see Dead Rising 3 on PC. In terms of that. But next up we got Smash Brothers. Now, Smash Brothers is getting some bad press on the news because people are saying that it's starting to look like Brawl 2, which is kind of dumb, but it makes sense in a way because Smash Brothers Brawl is the highest selling like fighting game ever. You know what I mean?
Is it really?
Yes,
yeah, it's the highest selling fighting game too. So why would they make it play like Melee, a game where like a lot of mechanics are made from things that developers didn't even want in the game? They were gonna make it like Brawl. You know what I mean? So apparently
I can just feel Miles's like blood boiling right now.
Yeah. Let me finish. So
I'm waiting.
Apparently it's a happy medium between the two, but it leads more towards Brawl after watching what Maximilian has said about it.
Oh, okay.
Wait. But my thing is,
Victor, the floor.
Before we go on a long rant, do you think that the developers should make it more like Melee, and like the people did with Street Fighter 2, and they incorporated the things that were in the actual game? Should it be more like Melee with all the crazy mechanics? What do you guys think about that?
I will go last.
Yes, please.
Like, honestly, I could care less. Like, God, I'm just at least with Super Smash Brothers, Melee, and Brawl, I'm just so uncompetitive with the game that as long as it looks better and they have cool characters, I'm down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're part of the people. I'm not gonna say casual because you're not a casual, but you're the type of person that just buys Brawl because it's Smash Brothers or buys the new. You know what I mean?
It's freaking awesome. The game's so much fun.
And who's the people that sold Wii's? Not us, the hardcore gamers. The people that want to play Wii Fit Trainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, really.
Trainers in there. It's not us people who watch all these things. That's why they make so much money. It's because Nintendo appeals to such a wider fan base.
Yeah, they're a lot more casual when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like
the one thing is, casual's not bad, guys. Casual is not bad. You gotta
casual. We can't fund the art. We might not have the Wii U with awesome things if it wasn't for the casual things that are on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wasn't even aware. Hold on. Let me just say this real quick. I didn't even know Brawl was a competitive. I didn't even know people treated it as a serious fighter until I heard you and Miles talking about it.
I didn't even know until like 2 years ago. So.
I was like, what? Who takes this weird game seriously?
I always took it seriously, friend.
I couldn't believe it. It's to me, it is not on the same level as like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, but evidently it is. Who the hell knew?
It's actually more popular than Mortal Kombat.
Whoa.
Yeah, it is. It's just not as like the FGC, their crowd.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's getting there now though.
Yeah.
But
it's getting there. Yeah, I talked to that one guy, that dude from Maryland. What's his name? The streamer. DK Breezy. Yeah, he was saying there's some problems intended, like people not handling the losses right or well, and unknown. One of the players, his name's unknown. He freaking choked out a dude after he beat him. You know what I mean? That's not FGC.
That was like years ago.
I know, but it still hurts. You know what I mean? It still stays with the story. You know
Holy shit!
Yeah, it hurts. It's a choke out.
Hey, dude got choked, man.
Right.
Yeah, like
now I'm gonna let myself loose. We're gonna tackle different parts.
You guys want some hype music while I was talking? So
we're gonna start with the thought of how to start. You make me start editing stuff, but later. We can start with the thought of the Wii and like how it's casual. So that was the Wii's target audience. Most people that bought a Wii, their attach rate was like 1% or something to like buy another game, because people bought the Wii for Wii Sports. And like it was just universal. I went to like a boys and girls club one time. They had a Wii with Wii Sports, nothing else, just Wii Sports, because it's like It's so like for the time it was ridiculous that this is so quick and it's so easy. It's not like you sit in a booth.
Are you saying that most?
And it was actually fun.
Yeah,
And it was awesome.
It was actually fun.
Yeah, Wii Sports is the #1 selling game on the Wii. Is Wii Sports.
That's definitely true. It also came with the Wii, but
Yeah.
That's the same thing because the #1 selling game on the NES is Super Mario Bros. It came with the NES.
But most people get a Wii and they still buy. I feel like a lot of them buy Nintendo games as well. They might not buy the third-party stuff.
Because there's some people that would never buy a console, bought a Wii for Wii Sports.
Well, I don't know, because I know a lot of girls around my way that don't play video games that have a Wii, Mario Kart, and Smash Brothers. Because that's all the party games that they play.
Yeah, they got a couple other ones. I'm saying
there are other party games that are along the same lines, like maybe a Mario Party game, or maybe like you said, Mario Kart. Mario Kart is a big one that's actually selling.
Yeah, Mario Kart. I'd probably put that up there.
Like, I have 3 copies of Smash from 2 girls I know. 1 is mine, and 2 from other girls I know. You know, it's because that's one of the casual games. Yeah, I'm big pimping over here. But yeah.
Victor.
Anyway.
Okay, so like, the thought is, and there's the alarm, whatever. But the thought is like, people bought the Wii because it was the target audience for the Wii was casual, and so the thought is that when Brawl was being developed, Sakurai is like, well, the audience target is casual, so I need to make this for casual players. So like he decided when it came to it, let's take out stuff like wave dashing because it's a ridiculous advanced tech.
What does that mean?
Play the game. Okay, so in Melee and in Project M, when you air dodge, you can push yourself in a direction, and when you do that, you just fall to the ground, like you can't act out of it, so you go into free fall. So if you air dodge and push into the ground, it just cancels, and your character carries that momentum across the ground, and you can use that for advanced movement, and you can act out of it. So like you can wave dash into jabs, since you're on the ground but you're sliding, but you're not running, so you can still do like standing animations out of it. And so like that adds a lot to the game in terms of what you can do. But when you think about it, even when I thought about playing Project M now and playing against my friend who plays Melee for a long time and trying to keep up, like that's such extra stuff that you have to do in order to be able to even be on the same plane. Not to mention that I have to consider now, not only like the stuff I know from Brawl and all that spacing and stuff, I consider, well, he could also wave dash and then do an attack out of that. Or he could just dash dance. Well, I think dash dance is pretty simple, and I'm pretty sure that'll probably be in the game because that was technically in Brawl, just not easily feasible, or even when you did it, you would trip.
Yeah, oh my god, tripping.
And that's already going. Another thing they already confirmed they're taking out is, another thing that was taken out in Brawl and will probably be taken out in the next game as well is L canceling.
Which is...
Miles?
Oh, did we lose Miles?
1 second.
Yep.
Well,
Victor, what is L canceling?
so L canceling. So say you do a move while you're in like an aerial move and you hit the ground, you're gonna hit left trigger to shorten the recovery time. So that way you can do another move out of that move quicker.
Sure.
Frames like right before you're on the ground and before you hit the ground. So that becomes a thing. Is like the problem I have with L canceling is that there's never a time that you won't do it. It's just a thing that you do. Every time you do an aerial, you hit L or R before you hit the ground, and you have to do it, otherwise you get punished.
Yeah. See, here's my thing with Melee. I think it's really accessible for new people to come out and play it, and there's a lot of depth to it, you know what I mean? In terms of things you can do with the game. That's why I don't have a problem with all those mechanics, is because, like, if you don't want to do the mechanics, you don't have to. Miles see me play, I don't do all those mechanics in Project M, and, like, we still happen to beat each other every once in a while, you know what I mean? Like, we go back and forth, and I feel like he might do some mechanics more often than I do. You don't have to do it.
I just think if you're trying to go to a tournament, there's a certain point where they are necessary, and you need to know them, and you need to be good at them. Because another thing about Melee, like if you watch Melee tournaments, which I do a lot, is whenever someone messes something up, how hard they are punished is ridiculous. Like,
no, but I'm talking about accessibility. I'm talking about like playing with your friends.
I mean, I understand that, and that's what a lot of people are talking about. It's like, oh, well, Melee, when you play, you don't know this stuff is here, you just play it. But like, I'd rather have a game because this is both competitively and casually, where like Chris, more characters. I want it to actually look good. I want to play it on like not a CRT. Finally, I'm super happy about that. Just like in general, everything about it, like the soundtrack will be good. I just want them to add as much stuff as possible, and the competitive stuff is cool. Like I like what I'm seeing because Smash 4, what they have is pivot tilts. So like in Smash games, you can pivot and where you run, hit the other direction, and like you can do a grab out of that. So you can like get a grab with a longer range, and you can instantly like cross someone up with it. So in Smash 4, in the demos at least, you could pivot into tilts. So like that's holding the stick in direction and hitting attack, which is like which normally if you smash it, you do a smash attack, but if you do it, you do a tilt. So like you can tilt out of like dashes, which is a new thing that's not in the other Smash games. And like I don't know, like every Smash game is going to have its advanced mechanics. Like people say Brawl had none, but Brawl had Dacus, so that's dash attack canceled up smash, which the way you do it is convoluted. I don't know who figured it out, but like basically
someone with way too much time on their hands.
Yeah, but like basically when you do it, your character will do an up smash, but they'll slide across the ground while doing it, and like for certain characters, it's really good. Like my main Wolf, like he goes a good distance, and like his up smash hits low to the ground, so like you can get people like in a lot of areas with that.
I just feel like every game will have its advanced mechanics to it, though. You know, I feel like, and fighters are that too. I feel like every single fighter, pretty much ever, will have its own like weird little things that will make it hard. And of course, the game will be accessible to everyone, but to a point, only certain players will be good at certain aspects of the game. And I feel like that's just the nature of fighting games. So I just don't get why people get upset at this kind of thing when I feel like it would just be expected.
Well, because like that is like this is what I really want to hit on is that there's a fundamental flaw with the Smash community. Right? Like I love the community, but there's problems with it, and like the issue is like a lot of people just like even in saying this, I don't want to say they just want Melee 2 because there's
I know what you mean,
on Reddit and stuff, but like in essence, that's what they want. They don't want just Melee and HD. What they want is like the movement options and all that stuff for Melee, which would make the game Melee 2 in essence. But the problem is like, you know, like you're making a new game, and this is something I really want to hammer in this topic is like. I don't want Melee 2. I don't want Brawl 2. I just want Smash 4. And whatever comes from it will come. But like there will be a competitive side. People are wondering, like, I watch Matt's video. You think, oh, this game's not going to be competitive. People won't play competitive. They're going to play PM or Melee. That's why last week we talked about Max. Because, like, I love Matt and Max, like, and I liked their stream. I really enjoy it. When it comes to Smash, no. Like, I watched them play Project M, and it's like, they basically play Project M like as Brawl. But then they turn around and say, oh, Brawl's not that fun. And it's like, what? Why are you even playing Project M? Like, I remember the first time I booted up, Matt is like, oh, we took out all the fun stages. When all they did is make every stage, like, more competitively viable. So, like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like, I understand people want more advanced movement. I played the game, and to me, it feels like it has it. Maybe there's a bit restricted movement, more in the Brawl line of it, but like I think stuff is going to come out of it anyway. Like pivot tilts is something we found, and that wasn't a demo. Like imagine when we get the game, we can actually mess around in it.
Yeah. I hear you. I agree with you though. I think just the fact that it's a new thing coming out and he's doing his own thing's pretty good. Like we can't have people telling him what to put in a game because another thing, people were mad about the transition from like Third Strike into Street Fighter 4 because you couldn't counter, which I don't know. You could see. Like what Chris was saying earlier about how there's mechanics there for like the hardcore people, and then there's the game for the regular people. So countering was something for like the hardcore people because it was pretty hard to do. And in Marvel vs. Capcom, you can just twirl the stick and press buttons if you don't care and do moves. But if you're a pro, you can do infinites. It's certain things like that. So that's just what fighting games are. I mean, people need to accept that every game's going to be different because a new fighting game comes along so long after the previous iteration.
And then on that topic,
it has to be different.
Real fast before we move on, is like the thought of like, countering isn't in Street Fighter 4. And people were asked, like, what would you want in the next Street Fighter? So I would like the mechanics from Street Fighter 4, but with countering from Third Strike.
Yeah.
But the thing the fighting community will do is they will adapt. Maybe they don't enjoy it, but the majority of the community will move on to the new game. And they'll move on and they'll embrace it. But with Smash, it's like I get Melee is a good. I enjoy watching Melee. I have nothing against it. But my thing is like I think the majority of the Smash community at this point they tried Brawl, it didn't work out, and now they're all jaded and just want what they want, or they're not gonna like. Then half the people are complaining and get the game anyway.
They're all gonna buy it, yeah.
Yeah, that's just this is just stupid to me. They're all because I feel like what Michael just said. They're all gonna buy it anyway. Sure, they'll be pissed. They're gonna play it anyway.
Because the one thing is like, Like they're gonna buy it and then they're gonna complain. I don't care if it's literally Melee 2. They're gonna complain.
Yeah, and
Because they're people. And
again, isn't this the nature of competitive games and gaming? You know,
The
people
nature
are
of
gonna
people.
people are gonna complain, like no matter what. I don't know.
Yeah, even from
it's just the nature of people in general. Like whenever something changes, even just slightly, like they're always gonna find some way to complain about it or to say that like because it's not going to be Melee, it's not as good as or someone is going to say that.
You don't know the Smash. That's half the Smash community.
dude, oh
Unfortunately.
my god. And God
No,
forbid
no.
the
Well,
game came out.
when
So
you
make
also
the
say,
hardline thing on your time on your you know what I mean? God forbid you put the same looking game out and then you're gonna get bashed for that.
And then, like, this is another
When
thing I
you
want
all-
to say. When people compare it to Brawl 2 in its current state, we don't know when this like build was made. They could have been to Sakurai like months ago and been like, make a build for E3. Like, stop what they're doing. They make the build. It's done. They test it. It's done. It's ready to go. Like, the build, he was worried it was going to crash on the Invitational. And even when they were playing on Treehouse, it crashed. And at some demos, the game crashed. But people are so like picking at everything, and like some people are like, you know what, just enjoy it. It's a demo. It's an probably a beta or alpha build of the game. And then like
Just be thankful that you're looking at it because like a lot of
Oh
like,
yeah, last year we barely saw
like,
anything.
a lot of companies
Yeah, we
don't
saw,
even
like,
want to
nothing.
show gameplay of like really early stuff like the rest of E3 like they didn't show actual gameplay. They showed like pre-recorded gameplay, not like actual live gameplay, which is what people want to see. They want to see what the game looks like when you're playing it. Not like
Yeah.
this is the best you can ever expect out of this game. You will never get this
right.
because
Speaking
it
of
is the best.
oh god.
We
Speaking of
spent
showing
months of recording for
Capcom.
this 12 minutes.
Yeah, speaking of showing, Capcom is not showing any defenses to a hostile takeover at this point. So what that means is normally, if someone tries to buy a majority of your stock, they can't take over the company. But I'm not a businessman by no means. But here's what I got. So you have to have a defense against someone taking over your company, and Capcom figured like they lowered their shields, so people can buy it out right now at this point. So anyone can own Capcom. So picture like Street Fighter V PS4 exclusive, which is now a possibility. So what do you guys think can happen with this? And you can talk about what happened to Rare,
So
pretty
what
much.
I saw with this is like I remember Max did a video on it, and like he discussed that Ono, who's the lead producer behind Street Fighter, is currently working on a game that's exclusive to PS4. Now we don't know what that is, but the idea is Sony might have bought Street Fighter, and like Street Fighter 5 might be PlayStation exclusive, and like there could be good things and bad things with this because I think certain other IPs went to certain like. Everyone wants Nintendo to buy Mega Man and make a Mega Man game.
Yeah,
I think
Because,
Nintendo
like,
should get Mega Man. If
they totally should.
and hand off
like,
to the
they're
guys
showing,
that
like, they would
made
be
Metroid.
able to do it and do it well. But like, I don't know. It could be good. It could be bad. Because like, think of Sega now. Well, that's not a good idea. Because Capcom's already like Sega. I don't know what I was going with that. That was poor. But I don't know. Because like, people are worried with Microsoft and Rare. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
They took in Rare and then
Butcher?
something happened and now it's just
No.
a bastardized
I'll tell you what
company
happened.
that's just there.
And we already went over it earlier. Cameo happened.
Yeah.
Actually,
Cameo
I mean,
was a wonderful game. My
Cameo
friend.
was
Perfect Dark
fantastic.
Zero was a bad game. Cameo was good.
whoa, but how about that great
Viva
Pinata.
Zoe nuts and bolts?
Well, what's funny with Nuts and Bolts, it was actually supposed to be an actual Banjo-Kazooie game, but it was so
I heard it
big.
sold well though.
It did decently well, but it was
Oh,
so
it
big
is
that
not.
they
It will
made
never
it
be.
into a racer.
It's not a Banjo and Kazooie game,
No,
although
it will
I
never
did
fill
enjoy
those
it.
shoes.
Yeah.
Although I
Yeah.
did enjoy it because
Yeah,
I
the humor and
because I like
everything,
building games. So
With this whole selling Capcom thing, I don't think there's too much to make of it yet. I just think it's too early to tell. I mean, because we've had examples of this in the past that are poor, right? Like we just brought up Rare, but I mean, you know, Rare had some good. Like Cameo was great, but then we had freaking Nuts and Bolts, which is so.
But Viva
I think
Pinata, my friend, those games
Oh,
are masterpieces.
whew, those
So
are
good.
beautiful games. So you know, we have goods and bads. I think it's a bit tunnel vision to say that this will inevitably be bad or good for Capcom because Capcom has all kinds of titles. I mean,
Yeah.
and to just
they've been around for so long.
and just to say that someone buying them is going to instantly ruin the company is just ignorant, right? You can't just say that like because the next Street Fighter will be a PS4 exclusive will ruin Street Fighter is just dumb because that definitely won't happen.
If anything,
So-
they're gonna have more of their old games coming out if they did get bought out. But
yeah, if they got bought out, there'd be so much more money, right? There would be so much more money to make all these different games, and the higher ups will definitely want more of these because they sell. So maybe we'll have more of them. I don't know. I don't think it's.
Here's something I'm wondering though: are they actually buying the division, or are they just buying the IP?
that's what I'm not too sure about. I don't know. I think they might be buying the whole company as a whole, but I don't know if they're gonna. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Actually, let's look that up.
Yeah.
What is the net worth of?
Capcom.
By the way, I'm looking at. Apparently, Microsoft purchased all of Rare, like 100% of it, for $375 million.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
they put it that high just so
2002.
Nintendo couldn't keep them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
And like I'm looking at their stuff, like they made really good stuff. They made Donkey Kong Country, CGI, Killer Instinct, GoldenEye,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Banjo-Kazooie, Tooie.
So Chris, I have a question for you. As the resident, businessman, the madman over here, I have a question. What exactly does a hostile takeover mean for a company? If you could explain that.
Who's this, me?
Yeah.
I'm definitely not 100% too sure. Okay. It's when a hostile takeover. It's when you take a company. It's when someone takes another, but they're not really in agreement with the management, right?
Okay.
So it's just if they're immediately bought out, right? It's just if someone's like Capcom, we want it, and like here's $1 billion, and like Capcom management and whoever others management had no say in it, and it just happens regardless.
Okay. That makes
Rather
sense.
than saying like, "Hey, we want to buy you. This is what we're thinking. Are you guys good with it?" So
Oh,
just
yeah.
be, nope,
We're
we're
keep these
taking.
people. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, looks
If
like
you
a
guys-
cap. Sorry.
If you guys are familiar, what's his name? There's a really famous investor whose name eludes me now, but he specializes in this with companies that are doing really poorly. He just buys them and then fixes them and then just sells them for a higher price. Although his name eludes me right now. So I mean, it's good and bad.
Yeah. The one thing is, I'm looking right now. Capcom, looks like that the revenue in 2010 was 728 million. So the one thing is like purchasing Capcom. Capcom has a lot of like really high up, really high end like IPs to
They
their
have so
name,
many, but they
and
don't
you would
even
have
touch
to
them
literally
anymore.
purchase. You would literally have to purchase them for the cost of all of that because that's what their company is worth because they own those IPs, and that's what makes up their worth.
That's ridiculous. Because I feel like you could just name 10 if you wanted to right now and not even scratch the surface of how many there are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just looking right now, and each one of these games, like, it's like, yep, that sells a lot, yeah, Mega Man, Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Street Fighter, just to name like 5.
That's another thing. I don't think
And
Capcom's
together that makes more money than we'll ever see in our lifetimes.
I don't think Capcom's going anywhere because they have Monster Hunter. Like I remember Max made that video where he's upset because why Capcom focus on mobile games? Because Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Because like, we're gonna make Monster Hunter 4,
so-
Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and that's going to destroy in Japan, and it's gonna come over to the West and do just fine as well. But we're gonna wait a year just to build up the hype.
Yeah, seriously.
Because they're Capcom. Thanks, Capcom.
Finding their net worth is difficult.
Mhm.
I can't
All right.
seem.
Yeah.
You keep on that work.
Income, which is, but
Yeah,
that's
the
not
the
same.
income's great and the revenue is great, but it does not say for what kind of time period that is though.
Yeah.
But speaking of bringing the hype out, let's talk about the E3 a couple years ago when we first saw Watch Dogs, and we all said this was next gen. You know what I mean? And it sucked that every year you saw it after that, it didn't look as good. You know what I mean? And apparently, a few days ago, PC Modders found the original files for that, original E3 build, and on it actually said E3 demo on the files. You could see it. So
Jeez.
people are upset by the fact that there's a bunch of rumors and speculation.
On the PC.
Yeah, there's people saying that on the PC that it was held back to stay with the Xbox One and PS4 because there's undoubtedly PC is stronger than the Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people are saying that they were told to hold back, or they felt like they had to hold back because the PlayStation and the Xbox couldn't handle that. I don't know. I feel like that's true, but apparently some PR guy came out and he said that they didn't do it because of PS4 and Xbox. They did it because there's like something that would mess with the game or the frame rate.
This guy said so. This can only be you can only change the graphic settings, through a PC, right? That's the only place you can go into the files and change it.
You can't edit consoles.
So this guy came out saying this dumb baloney that was like, hey, if you do this, this is like really trivial and can like really mess with the game. And the community's just like, what? It's like, okay, yes, if you put on these hyper graphics, maybe some computers can handle it. And that will, just like anything though, just like any game where you can change the graphics.
Yeah.
But you're not like
try to run
any
game on Ultra. If your computer can't handle it, then guess what?
It's basically running it on like Super Ultra, which a decent amount of computers can actually handle.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know.
The thing is that there are computers that can handle it, and
it should be as a slider. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand that, but like, I just want to hit on this because this is a theme. When it comes to it with PC, everyone is like when we're discussing like between consoles and PC, people think, oh, PC is superior. Well, if you bought or built a PC that is superior, then it is. But for the average consumer, their PC isn't going to outperform a console. I don't think.
But I heard if you get
the thing is,
an average PC is going to be at least as good or better than a console, like the same price console as a console.
I don't think you're going to get a PC for $600 that's going to play better than a console. As good, I could see, but for 600, and 600 even a thing now. 500, I don't think so.
For 600, you could certainly get a PC that will perform better. But the thing is, to build one for 1,000, you can get, which gamers will do,
and
most people done. I've done. It costs about $1,000. You will create a computer that will play a game better, like infinitely better. Like it's not even comparable.
Yeah.
Which is the issue where a lot of people come from. It's like, when you're comparing these two ratios of money and like performance, the PC is just so much better that it's just infuriating when people are trying to market consoles as these amazing computers when really they're like not.
Yeah.
They're just like pretty good. And then you like look at this PC I can construct that can literally kick this thing's ass for like another $200. That's just, I feel like that's where the issue lies.
Yeah. Although the benefit with consoles comes in where you can buy a console and you will have the same console as your friend and your friend's friend and the person that you're playing with. Everyone's on the same field when it comes to hardware, and you don't need to know jack about it. You don't need to go onto forums and like, what kind of power supply do I need? What kind of graphics card?
I bought
What's the difference between these audio drives?
Well, I mean, the thing about a console is that it's much more convenient, and a lot of people are willing to pay for convenience over doing the research, which I mean, makes complete sense. Exactly, and like we were saying, just the other thing, especially for me, is just the physical aspect of holding a game, because when it comes to PC gaming, it's tough to buy stuff. Yeah, people rarely buy things a hard copy now. I went to GameStop to look for Mist of Pandaria to see if I could buy.
I was about to say like Mist, like old Mist, like
no,
not first two.
Okay,
MYST.
okay.
No. To try to buy Mist Pandaria to see if it was cheaper, and than what the one was offered online. And the one was like, I don't even know if we have that, but I'll check. And she was like, this is actually the last one. And I was like, geez, given the game's kind of old now, but still. And then she basically gave it to me. I got it for like $15.
Yeah, but speaking about games coming on PC, so apparently like people are saying like, what if the game does better? What if I told you the game actually ran better once they put the mods on? There was less problems, less slowdown. The game was running as though it was made to run that way. That's
As
the
though it
biggest
was
problem.
made for a PC.
Exactly.
Instead
That's
of
So that was the thing with
PC
Watch Dogs.
port.
Is like the president of Ubisoft, I think it's like Yves Guillemot, came out and said that it was being developed with the PC in mind.
So pretty much that means it was made for PS4, Xbox One, and then ported over. But for some
Yeah.
reason, it still had the files of the original build, which you could use.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's my problem. I mean,
I
consoles-
think that they could have handled it better by saying like, oh, oops, we forgot to actually activate those. We just sort of put it all out as the same thing. And
or
we
an update
forgot
to add sliders or something. If it's
Or
already in
Or
the
not
game.
just-
leave those in the files.
Let's go with that, Miles. I like your idea. Let's not leave that
It
in
seems
there.
like something that's like, maybe if we don't want to show this, don't just leave it there. Let's just take
And
it
it
out.
was labeled E3.
You know what?
It
I'll
was labeled that.
learn from Rockstar in San Andreas, and you know what?
Oh God, yeah.
Don't leave stuff in your game if you don't want people to find it in your game.
Oh my God.
Because they will find it in your game, and your game will.
I don't know. They probably sold them copies while Watch Dogs isn't helping themselves.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
dude. Speaking of companies having things inside games that should be there or shouldn't be there, the Xbox One. So there's some things that are coming to the Xbox One that are on the Xbox 360 that should have been available at launch. For instance, being able to play MP3s on there. Now, I think
You
you can.
couldn't
some-
do that?
No.
You can't play MP3s on
What?
Xbox. You can't do it on
What?
PS4 either. I don't think.
No,
Um,
you can't do a PS4. I don't
You
believe.
can't play MP3s.
If you can on the PS4, then it is hidden.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you have a PS4. And another
Yes.
problem is the achievement bar, because apparently you can't move. Developers can't move it anymore, so it's always in that one spot. When you get an achievement, it pops up. And the problem is some games, especially 2D indie titles, your character is like right there, and it blocks
Well,
off your character.
The achievement's only there for like a couple seconds, right?
No, on the Xbox
One
One, it's only there for a
It
while.
lasts for a decent amount, unless you
Yeah.
change it.
Because they want you to click on it now, you know what I mean? So it lasts a lot longer.
And like the Xbox One, like it's unfortunate, but like when achievement pops up, it's not like the 360 where it's like, oh, I'll just pop up the dashboard and show you it's right here. This achievement you got. Xbox One is like you hit the button, it switches off the game, goes back to the main menu, loads achievements,
What?
then slowly
It-
loads the achievement, shows it to you, okay, goes back to the game.
I found it to be kind of slick though, because of the fact of how fast you can go, resume or whatever, go back right to your game. But still, it should have an overlay like the 360 did. That kind of annoys me.
That's a step in the wrong
The-
direction completely.
I think
And
it's-
does
I think it's
Xbox
kind
One
of a
have,
backlash from their early plans of what the system was going to be, and then you have to get rid of all that stuff, so some stuff
Yeah.
is missing.
That makes sense why stuff is missing, because
Hopefully they'll
Microsoft,
fix that.
yeah, because they're trying to be the all-in-one entertainment system, but you can't listen to music unless you go to Xbox Music. What? That doesn't make sense.
Xbox Music, spare me.
Well,
Stop,
it
you
was
just-
either that or keep calling it Zune.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Every time you say Zune, Bill Gates
They
cries.
actually
so don't
can't
say
call it
Zune.
Zune anymore because Zune isn't actually a thing anymore. They've discontinued Zune a bit ago.
Oh,
Or-
wow.
I know,
Really?
I own a Zune.
Oh,
God.
oh no.
And I'll tell you what, the main issue with Zune is that Microsoft did not back it up at all.
Mhm.
They
Hey,
did not
it's-
give that thing the support that it needed.
Wasn't it like
Like
They
supposed
Vita.
to
they
be
could have
better,
competed
too?
with Apple, but they decided, no, we don't want to try that hard. I don't know actually why they didn't, but they could have, but they didn't.
I mean,
Mhm.
that's like
I
the
have a
beauty of
Zune
Apple.
and I have a Zune and it works well, and you can plug it in and you can. And I'll tell you what, when I got my iPod, I was having so many issues with the Apple Store that it's just like, like I tried to because I have a bunch of MP3s, I tried to transfer all of my songs over and like only half of them, literally tracks like 1 through 5 and then 10 through 15 transferred over, and I'm like, why didn't the rest? And they won't transfer over.
I think
And
because there's probably DRM on them.
No. There's DRM going from if you buy it on the iTunes store, but if you bought it on Zune, I don't think there's DRM in it.
That's
Yeah,
the only
well,
reason like it wouldn't automatically do it, but you can
and
do it manually.
these MP3s weren't bought from the Zune. They were like soundtrack stuff that I got from Humble Bundle, the Payday
Wow.
soundtrack. Yeah,
Oh.
like just
Huh.
MP3s, and like they don't transfer. No, the like just regular MP3s with nothing on them, and it's like no.
I've
The-
also had problems with that sometimes. Honestly, with my iPod. That's why I don't actually. I lost my iPod. That's the biggest problem I had with my iPod. Someone stole it. But
That was my iPod.
yeah, it was your iPod. Sorry about that.
Was Victor's.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
no
like
longer on the record.
this was your PlayStation 3. Now it's my PlayStation 3.
Richard's taking all my shit.
Until 2015 with Persona 5.
Persona 5, let's go. I can't wait for that game. Did you see the trailer for it actually?
I saw like the initial one.
It's like it's really creepy. It looked like it's going back to Persona 3 roots. It's like just a bunch of chairs and they have their ankles like kind of like locked down, kind of like a old-timey jail person. You know how they have like the little like the ball and chain or whatever on
This
their
game
legs.
sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it's like, are you a slave? Do you want emancipation? And I was like, what? What's going on? And that's all you get for Persona 5. It's like a little teaser.
What?
Yeah, it looks dope. I will
Sounds
send you that
amazing.
video after. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like games coming out and revenue, which we've been talking about a lot in this podcast, how do you guys feel if you made a YouTube video and your life depends on this video? You do walkthroughs, let's plays, all that jazz.
It's your job.
Yeah, it's your job. It's your job. It's your livelihood. And you have to give some of that money away to the developers. Do you think that is fair or not? I think it kind of is fair, except for the fact that, you know, you're putting a lot of time and energy into it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it is fair.
Because you bought the game. You paid for it. You know?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
So I don't think it is fair because I think the idea is like, okay, so I want to see this game that I'm not going to play myself, but I want to see the game playthrough because maybe it's like Dead Space or something. So I'll go to YouTube and I'll type in Dead Space walkthrough, and if I find one and I'm listening to the person talking and I just don't like what they're saying, I don't like their voice, whatever, I just stop watching and I'll go find someone else. So I think it's more of the personality. That's what sells the videos than it is the game.
What if I told you just said one of the problems of that I'm pretty sure, like, when Phil Fish is the guy we were talking about in this article, that they might have potentially, the fact that I'm not going to buy the game. I'm just going to watch the story over someone else play it.
No, but the thing was, when my example is, I wasn't going to buy the game anyway. I just wanted to know the story of the game.
That's the point, though. Like, that's kind of a hard number to find. Like, how do you know how many people are going to actually buy the game as opposed to watching it?
I think there's a decent amount of people, though, that watch it to see, like, is this game worth my money? And then
I've bought a lot of games after watching videos. Like, even games I just have never played. Like, just because I like the person, because I liked how the game looked, because I liked how the game played. I can go to Steam.
Yeah, which is our point of view, because we're the consumer. But from the developer's point of view, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Because you gotta see it from that.
Yeah. So someone has to. I mean,
let me give something here. So the argument here is that the YouTubers, people want the YouTubers to keep the profit that they're making off of the energy and the time they put into that video. Right? Because that's really important to them. They made this video, you know, it's what they do, it's their job. Yeah. It's also someone else's job to create, construct, market, and produce that video game. Right?
Yeah.
Someone put their entire, pretty much like years of their life into this game. You bought it. You didn't buy the rights to it. When you buy a video game, you don't own the rights to it. You're pretty much being allowed to see it. Right? That's like kind of what it is. When I buy Mario, I don't own like Mario. So then I then go off, use someone else's product that they've allowed me to purchase. I then put it online for everyone to view, and then I make a profit off of that. I may be putting some time into that, but what the hell? How about the guy that put his life's work into it, and now I'm making a profit off of it? This is not just a thing in video games. This is a thing in the world. I mean, I can't go to Barnes legally. I can't go to Barnes and Noble, buy a book, and then go to a major other book company and sell it to them, right? That's like
a different system there. But you can take your book and read it to people.
Yeah, you
can go around and
you can even give it to a friend. Like, here, you want, like I did with Victor. I got a bunch of WoW books. Like, here, why don't you read these?
But giving him that book is not my livelihood.
There's also
Giving-
a sense of scale
giving
there
him-
too.
Yeah. Also that.
You gotta take scale and effect to that. You know what I mean?
Also, giving people these books, I'm not making my fortune off of it. If I was, then maybe the owner would be a little bit pissed. Then maybe the owner would be like, "Hell, this is my work." I mean,
a big difference.
this is why to make movies, right? To make movies off of a book, you have to pay for the rights. That's why you have to pay for rights for things because it's someone else's work that you are then making a profit off of.
Okay, so I wanna say something because I know Chris, like you don't really like enjoy watching people play games, and I'm like exactly the opposite. That's what I do. That's what I like when I'm playing games. I watch someone play another game because I don't know. It's enjoyable to me to see that. When I do it, I normally am watching the person because like the game itself. Sometimes these games I already own and I already play a lot, but I enjoy watching and supporting that person. So like so let's take the Rad Bread, as me and Victor watch a lot. I got into him from Dead Space 2. Like I don't play horror games. Like it just would never work.
Because of him, I got Dead Space 3. By the way, that's you know what I mean. That's also one of the good sides to it. Because of him, I got Dead Space 3.
Yeah, so like I watch him play games. Like, oh, this game's interesting. Maybe I should pick it up. And like the way Total Biscuit does is he doesn't even play. He doesn't do Let's Plays. So he doesn't play the whole game. He just like he'll just play like the start of it and then give you his opinion. And then that way you can say, oh, maybe this game is worth me checking out, or maybe I'll just pass on this one. And like I remember his argument was, well, if someone watched your game and wasn't brought to the point where they should buy it, maybe your game isn't that good.
Yeah,
that's just like in general. That's really general, but you know, it's an idea that you can
doing that online too. Some
Listen,
people for talking about games like that online.
I'm totally on board with the whole watching thing and using games to show people and stuff, but I feel like that person has got to give a right to the people who produced it.
This is what they're kind of doing.
Because a lot of people will create ad revenue and stuff and will make money off of this. And without that game, I don't care if you're there for the person. Without the game, you wouldn't watch it.
Once you include money, it becomes a whole different ballgame. You know what I mean? If it was free, it would be totally different. But once you include money,
if no one was making money at all, if this guy was making zero cash money off of this, it would be fine. Because you've paid for the product, you're not making any money, and you're just kind of like showing it. Pretty much, you're just promoting it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's very different. Promoting and like making money are two different things.
But then again, without the, by the way, the money that these people make, they're not like millionaires. Like
oh no,
like the majority aren't PewDiePies. PewDiePie is an exception to the rule. He makes millions of dollars. He's actually a really nice guy from what I've heard, but like the stuff that he's popular for, not my thing. But hey, you know, more power to him. But like.
Oh no, I definitely get you. These people aren't, these people aren't making.
They don't have the money to give. It's not like the developer is making more money. Like, I think Total Biscuit has actually put out like. After he would make a video of a game, like game sales, that's right. He put out sales figures that showed that after he made a video of a game, and he was given these sales figures by the developer of this game. Mm-hmm. I forget what game, but they said that the sales jump was just as much as if the game was if the game price was cut in half for like a sale. Mm-hmm. Like that, it was that much of a jump. Mm-hmm. And like,
I mean, that's
and
great.
I also see it as like a part of the community. Like without these people getting something in return, the people who make these videos, there would really be no community for a lot of these games because who's going to spend the time and make hours of gameplay and just narrate over it and spend so much time editing and talking and recording and buying equipment and buying microphones and speakers and buying actually good equipment to get nothing in return. Mm-hmm. Nothing. You get some nice comments. Actually, you also get trolls too because it's YouTube. Yeah. It's YouTube. Welcome.
But, oh God, we gotta do that too.
But all you get is like good job, and like the company goes, thanks for marketing our game for free.
Yeah, this is just one of those arguments that like both sides of the coin are just there's good arguments, there's pros and cons to both. There's good arguments for each side,
and you can't really knock either of the pros either.
Especially since we haven't been there and that's in those shoes neither. We haven't done either side of it, because YouTubers aren't allowed to say how much money they exactly make, and developers aren't like we're not developers. We don't know how long it takes to make a game, even though we
Yeah.
kind of do. But we're not in their shoes.
And game development is a very like finicky
Fickle.
thing. It's it varies from game to game.
Hey,
Yeah.
and one thing before we move on that Michael hit on is like that's something I was thinking, like I was in the back of my mind, but I forgot. Like in the end, this is free marketing. Yes, they're playing through the game, but they're also just showing your game to people who might not even heard of your game. So you're just getting free publicity that you didn't pay for, and they're not asking you to pay them. It's not like they're actually really taking money out of your pocket. If anything, they're giving you the chance to earn more.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Sure, I mean there are obviously pros, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I think the biggest one Michael said was building a community. I mean,
Mhm.
what would Twitch be and what would YouTube be without any of that, right?
Mhm.
But it did. I don't know. What just doesn't sit kosher with me is people making money without the ones who made it not being involved. I guess that's just my biggest issue.
I can see that without some sort of consent.
Sure.
I can see that.
I
Correct
think
me if
there's
I'm
two
wrong.
sides of the coin because I know there's a lot of developers that are all for it and like
Yeah,
really
definitely.
Well,
for
this
going
goes
with
back
it.
to to music too, because people steal music and it's a huge issue, and some bands literally hate it. Metallica despises it. They can't stand when people steal music. But then I think it was Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Someone instead looked online and was like, all right, our music is stolen mainly in I don't know, Chicago, Philly, and Seattle. So our next tours will be primarily in Philly, Seattle, and Chicago. We're just people are stealing it there. It's pretty much free marketing there. So we're going there and we're gonna make a profit there. Similar thing. These people use it. They market and then people will buy it. It's just like we've been saying. It's tough. It's a tough issue.
Yeah, it really is. Like the person who actually was talking about this was Phil Fish, and he's been known to get really adamant on online and kind of
Yeah.
cry about things because of this. This type of he gets so upset because people were getting mad at him for delaying Fez. It was just a game he made.
Oh, that's
He delayed
right.
it a long time.
He was the Fez guy. Okay.
He was the Fez guy, and
Yeah.
he gets stressed out real quick, and because of that, he started making Fez too because he's tired of the
Yeah.
You know,
He stopped
He
making
got
Fest too
some
because
sort-
some journalist was being really hard on him. About
Yeah.
the first one.
I'm sure it was a bunch of things that added up, though. You know what I mean? It was a bunch
Yeah.
of things that added up, and he's probably not making that much money, and he sees people making money off of his videos while
Fez
he's.
sold
No,
a
Fez
lot.
sold a lot.
Fez
I
sold-
know about. Do we know how much money he actually gets for everything? We don't know how much it
Well, he
actually
owns the
works.
company, right? He owns Polytron.
Yeah, but you still got you probably got to pay people to have your game on there. I don't know how
Sure,
it works.
there's a lot that goes into it.
There's a lot, but my point is, it's he spent so long making this game because he delayed I don't know 5 years, something like that. And,
Yeah.
and people are just putting videos up and making money. Of course he's going to get pissed, because he's I might be struggling a little bit here, and these people are just making money off my videos. I want a little bit of it.
Well,
I think that's an honest thing to be upset about. I mean, if you made the
Yeah.
game,
But even
I
now at this point, Fez has been out for a long time. And so for him to come out now and say I should be making money off you making videos on the game that's mine when your game's been out
But,
for a while and you don't
but-
intend on making other games since you left the industry.
You just can't view
And
it as
cancel the sequel.
you just can't view it as I have to make money off of what you guys are doing. To him, it's viewed as I need my fair share.
yeah, that's
Right,
what
'cause-
we're trying to argue here. Yeah.
For him, it's not I got to make money off of what you're doing because you're using my thing. It's no, I put time into this too. I need my fair share.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just a matter of view. It's just I feel like you can't say it in that manner.
Yeah. But
But then again, there may be some scumbags who do view it in that manner, which is ridiculous.
because I watched this documentary on Indie Game. Have you guys ever seen Indie Game the movie?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
yeah,
He was in that, and after watching that video, you kind of feel for the guy. You know how he was living.
definitely.
You know what I mean? And
Also, that documentary is bizarre.
it's pretty.
I advise everyone to watch it. It's a little bit goofy, but it's pretty sweet.
It really portrays developers and what they go through, especially indie developers. Yeah, and it's about indie developers. But yeah,
And I feel like indie developers more than most sort of get the brunt of if a video takes away sales, they feel it more, and if a video gives them sales, they feel it more.
Mhm.
It's because they're smaller and because every little thing really does impact them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like that they have, they'll be more they'll more push because I know indie developers. Some will just like go to YouTubers and be like, "Here, play my game. I don't care if you
Yeah.
like it or not. Just
Yeah.
please play it because I want
Yeah.
someone to see it. I want someone to see my game. Just please play it."
Yeah,
that's
hell,
how you have. That's how you get games like Dive Kick coming out and like Shovel Knight. Those games are made because I know people on YouTube that are just like they're the guys who have the advertisement for it. So
yeah.
yeah, indie developers, man, they get hit hard with this. I think that's who it mostly affects because if you're a big time developer like Ubisoft, this isn't going to bother you too much. But if you're the sole creator of a game or you and your best friend kind of want to make money off of the stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's all for tonight. I mean, I thought it was a good podcast. We got some information in.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
A lot
nice.
about PC, a lot of PC gaming on this podcast. But
Well, yeah.
to plug some stuff, if you guys want to follow me, I am
PC game.
Twitter.
Get out of here, you.
I am what the deuce.
Yes.
No H in what. Miles, what's
Wait,
your
what?
Twitter? No,
Wait.
my name on Twitter is what the deuce, but no H in what. Because I didn't want to make what the deuce like 2 or something like
So
that.
you're like Wat the Deuce?
What?
Wat the Deuce.
What the deuce?
Yeah, Wat the Deuce.
So if you want to follow me, you can follow me at McDareth on Twitter, and you also follow me on Twitch TV/McDareth, is where we will stream the podcast live, and I will be playing other games as soon as there's not stuff to watch.
Michael?
You can find me across the internet as Me What Name. I am at Me What Name on Twitter. And I also have a Tumblr, Me What Name. I do nothing on it, so don't bother. But everywhere else, I'm Me What Name. Just type it into Google. That's actually me. That's
And
me.
you can, yeah, and you can find Chris at facebook.com/Hedera. But
No, you can find me on Facebook. These guys made me a Twitter, so we'll keep that worked out.
Devier. Don't worry, all the Twitters will be in the description.
yeah, they'll be posted, and we're gonna have some show
YouTube
notes and
video.
stuff for you
Yep,
guys. But we're hoping to get on iTunes sometime this week. That'd be great.
Soon.
And we're going to try to promise Saturday night, 9 o'clock, 9:30. We're going to stream. We're going to get it out by Sunday. We're going to try to really get this weekly thing for everyone. So
Also,
you can
we're
enjoy.
gonna have like an actual icon soon and an intro by their band whenever
Yeah,
it's done.
It'll be nice.
yeah, that's going to be great. But thanks for watching. It's the end of the podcast. See ya.
Have a good one.
Thanks for watching.